Court orders forfeiture of 56 houses linked to former Petroleum Minister Alice in Madueke. Senate moves to criminalize secret recruitment into government ministries. Federal government puts suspected cases of monkeypox at 33. The foreign scene, Kenyan police disperse opposition protesters with tear gas. Good evening and welcome to the news at 6 on Rave 91.7 FM. My name is Femi. Olanipekun. Now the news in detail. We begin with legal matters, where the Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the permanent forfeiture of 56 houses linked to a former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Desiani Alice in Madueke. The permanent forfeiture of the assets, estimated to be worth about 3 billion naira, was ordered by Justice Abdulaziz Ankab. The houses located in Lagos and Port Harcourt are said to have been acquired by the ex-minister between 2011 and 2013 using front companies. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission said it believed that the funds or proceeds of crime. The anti-graft agency listed the properties to include 29 terraced houses comprising 8 4-bedroom penthouse apartments and 6 3-bedroom apartments, amongst others. The National Judicial Council has appointed 3 new High Court judges in Nasarawa State to further strengthen the state's judiciary. The Chief Judge of the state, Justice Suleiman Diko, gave the names of the new judges as Mustafa Ramat Abdulmumini, Hanatu Muhammad, and Abdullahi Uzegia. He said that the appointment of the judges was to fill the vacancy created by death and establishment of new high courts. Justice Diko said that the appointment was done after the candidates had been screened by the State Judicial Service Commission. The CJ said the appointments are based on merit and added that the exercise followed due process. In the meantime, Amnesty International has expressed concerns about the mass trials of Boko Haram suspects in Nigeria, with the press and public banned from the hearings on security grounds. Proceedings began this week at 4 civilian courts set up at a military base in Kanji, Niger State, with 1,666 suspects due to appear before judges. The federal government has said 651 others held in Maiduguri will be tried once the cases in Kanji are finished. Amnesty's Nigeria's director, Osai Ujigo, said the trials should provide a much-needed opportunity to deliver justice for those affected by the long-running conflict. He, however, said in a statement that the fact the trials were taking place behind closed doors with no access for the media or the public raises huge concerns. According to him, public hearings are crucial for protecting an individual's right to a fair trial and due process. 300 Boko Haram suspects are remanded in custody for 90 days yesterday, and one defendant was transferred for trial elsewhere. The federal government has promised that every defendant will have legal representation. And the security matters now. The Osun State Police Command has paraded before journalists one 42-year-old man for possession of expired drugs. According to the command, the suspect was arrested after policemen raided his house at Owodiede. The command also paraded a 20-year-old Jimo Sharif and 21-year-old Yusuf Taufik for cultism and ritual acts.
The Osun State Police Command has paraded more than 6 suspected criminals in the last 3 months alleged involving in murder, illegal firearm possession, murder, fraud, and kidnapping. The police again today showed to journalists some suspected criminals were nabbed in some parts of the state, saying the suspects were arrested after some intelligence gathering. A 42-year-old man who was alleged in possession of the expired drugs was nabbed by police, but the suspect revealed that the drug are meant to be an exhibit at the ongoing case involving him in the Boshe Magistrate Court later this month. The suspect added that he is not a licensed pharmacy, but had once worked with the Jawa International Drug Company and as a drug supplier for Lautech Teaching Hospital. Parading the suspect before journalists, the Osun State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Femi, said the suspected ritualist and cultist, Mr. Jimo Sharif, confessed to have belonged to a Zone 2 notorious gang, which was headed by one Seidu Aliu, and also disclosed to also have been involved in a cultist and ritualist group, which was headed by one Alhaji Afisu Olanipekun, which were both reside at the function.
this month, the police acting upon intelligence succeeded in arresting two members of a gang of terrible fraudsters who has been for their hard-earned money by pretending to be herbalists and having powers to make.
Items recovered from the suspect are the unregistered Toyota Camry saloon car and Toyota Bajaj motorcycles. 15 other members are at large, and the commissioner stated that the investigation is ongoing. Joseph Atewe, Rave FM News.
The Nigerian Army today unveiled the second phase of a special operation codenamed Operation Crocodile Smile 2 in Cross River State. General Officer Commanding 82 Division, Nigerian Army in Enugu, Major General Adamu Babaka, who unveiled the operation in Calabar, said it was meant to complement the ongoing Operation Python Dance in the southeast. He said the operation was in line with the Army's efforts in curbing cases of militancy, kidnapping, armed robbery, cultism and other forms of illegality in the state and beyond. He urged the general public to support the operation by availing the Army and other security agencies with useful and timely information that would enable them to respond to cases of emergencies.
We just finished a Gweke, which recorded a very tremendous success. And this also, what we have done on the land is what we are doing. And Crocodile Smile cut across 3 or 4 divisions, 81 division, 2 division, 6 division, and 82 division. And Crocodile Smile 2 is to exploit the gains of Egweke 2, which we will be concluding by 14th of this month.
Major General Abubakar added that the operation would also help in enhancing civil-military relationship, teach the troops and general administration, operational logistics, equipment maintenance, arms handling, and others. And in Borno State, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in the state says about 40 Boko Haram insurgents have indicated willingness to surrender to the Corps. The commandant of the Corps in the state, Ibrahim Abdullahi, said in Maiduguri that the insurgents had indicated their intention to renounce membership of the terrorist group through an intermediary. He said that negotiations between the command and insurgents were conducted through a firewood vendor. The commandant also said that 6 insurgents had earlier surrendered to the Corps in the last 1 month in the state. And to other matters, the Senate has condemned illegal recruitment by federal government ministries, departments and agencies, warning that it is a threat to the country's unity. The upper legislative chamber is now moving to criminalize secret recruitment into government offices. This was made known at the plenary today when the Senate passed a bill sponsored by Senator Biodun Olujimi for second reading. The bill, if passed into law by the National Assembly and assented to by the President, will make any senior government official who approves an illegal recruitment liable to a fine not exceeding 300,000 naira or to imprisonment for a term of not more than 2 years or both. The bill proposed that it should be an offense for any federal government ministry, agency or parastatal to fill a vacancy in their establishment unless the vacancies are placed on their notice board for 3 months before the commencement of the recruitment exercise. The federal government has started taking steps to stop doctors and public service from engaging in private practice. The Minister of Health, Isaac Adewale, disclosed this to State House correspondents at the end of the Federal Executive Council meeting Wednesday. He said a technical committee had been set up to look at the Yahya Ahmed report on the health sector. The report was the outcome of a panel set up by former President Goodluck Jonathan to look into unhealthy rivalries amongst healthcare professionals. At the press conference, Professor Adewale also said there is no reported case of death from the monkeypox disease, saying government is yet to confirm if the ailment spreading across some states is monkeypox. He said that there are so far 33 suspected cases of the disease in the country. Meanwhile, 7 out of the 13 monkeypox patients on admission at the Niger Delta University Teaching Hospital, Okolobiri, in Bayelsa State, have fully recovered. The State Commissioner for Information, Daniel Iworisa Maxin, in a statement today, said that 7 patients had been discharged from the hospital. The contagious disease broke out 3 weeks ago in Agura area of Yenagoa, following reports that the family manifested symptoms of monkeypox after eating monkey meat. He said the 6 other patients under medical surveillance at the teaching hospital are responding positively to treatment. Mr. Warrison Maxin commended the State Ministry of Health and National Center for Disease Control for their efforts in containing the disease. The Commission also appreciated people in the state for taking preventive measures against the further spread of the disease and urged them to maintain healthy lifestyle, environmental and personal hygiene. The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, in Osun State today flagged off a 3-day free healthcare program for residents in Odeomu, Ayedade local government area of the state. Declaring the free health program open, Governor Ofaregbeshola applauded the Corps for the health initiative and noted qualitative healthcare delivery was imperative for rural dwellers. Represented by the Commissioner for Empowerment and Youth Engagement, Falake Adegboyega, the governor called on well-meaning Osun residents and private organizations to join hands with the state government in providing qualitative health care to the citizens.
Nigerians, groups and organizations to arise and lend a helping hand to the citizenry. The government alone cannot do it. It is becoming increasingly more difficult to meet all needs of the people. But with the help of individuals, groups and organizations like NYSC, the needs of the people is being met directly or indirectly. Thank you very much, NYSC, for doing this.
The Osun State Coordinator, NYSC, Emmanuel Atta, said the free health care initiative would cover every local government around the state and enjoined the residents to make themselves ready for the free health service.
The scheme, in conjunction with our trained medical personnel who are serving corps members, have been taking free health service delivery to the rural areas. The maiden edition of the program, which is aimed at improving the quality of life of the people at the grassroots in the state of Osun, took place in Ibadan in 2015. The second edition came up in 2016 as Dependent Community, while the third edition was in July 2017 at Osun Community.
The Osun NYSC also launched a U-Report platform for local communities to report happenings in the environment to a global audience. The senator representing Osun West Senatorial District, Senator Ademola Adeleke, today granted scholarship to 65 undergraduates selected from 10 local government areas of the senatorial district. This was in fulfillment of his campaign promise to establish a scholarship scheme worth 250 million naira for indigents in the senatorial district. A presentation of the scholarship scheme was done at an event held at the country home of the Adeleke family in Ede. Was attended by chieftains of the PDP, led by the National Caretaker Chairman Hamid Makrufi. Joseph Atewe has a report.
Senator representing Osun West Senatorial District, Senator Ademola Adeleke, today presented 250 million naira scholarship scheme to indigents of undergraduates in the Osun West District. The scholarship presentation was in fulfillment of one of Senator Ademola Adeleke campaign promise in the run-up to the Osun West Senatorial District by-election. The election scheme presentation was done at an event attended by the PDP National Chairman, Senator Ahmed McCarthy, and other national and state heavyweights, the People Democratic Democratic Party at their Adeleke country home in Ede during his campaign promise in the run-up to the 8th July Osun West Senatorial District by-election. Senator Adeleke had promised to launch a scholarship scheme, a program worth 250 million naira for selected indigent students in the Senatorial District. The lawmaker had promised that the 10 local government areas in the Senatorial District would benefit 50 million naira each in the scheme. Speaking at the scholarship presentation, the National Chairman, People Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Ahmed McCarthy commended the scholarship scheme and made mention that the PDP is a party that keeps campaign promises as demonstrated by Senator Ademola Adeleke. Joseph Atewe, Rave FM News.
The Osun State Signage, Hoarding and Advertisement Agency has moved to ensure that public and private organizations comply with laws regulating the display of billboards, signposts, and other forms of advertisements. During a statewide exercise today, the Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the agency, Mrs. Dupe Ajayi, said it was committed to addressing the environmental issues that arise from the erection of signage. Here is the report.
The Osun State Signage, Hoarding and Advertisement Agency today began a statewide exercise to ensure that both public and private organizations comply with the laws regulating the display of billboards, signposts and other forms of advertisement. During the exercise, the agency visited some banks, betting houses and other establishments where there was prompt compliance in order to avoid the removal of signposts or the sealing of such establishments. While commenting on the exercise, the Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the agency, Mrs. Dupe Ajayi, disclosed that the exercise was not to victimize or extort money from organizations, but to address the environmental issues that arise from the erection of signage. She also stated that although the agency is relatively new in the state, it had adopted a soft approach to the enforcement of its regulations in a bid to ensure the standardization of signage in the state as well as the beautification of the environment.
The exercise is not just about payment. We did not start with a rush. We did not begin to break things down because we know the situation of things. We have three objectives. We want to standardize the arrangement of signage in the state. You go across some street, you see all these things dangling about. Some are falling down, some flexes are tearing, some are discolored. They are unsightly. Some can even fall on a child walking on the street. You know, you can't even turn right or turn left and be able to see because they are disorganized and disarranged. We want to standardize those.
On his part, the Chief Operating Officer of the agency, Mr. Niyi Odwola, commended the compliance of the organizations to the regulations, noting that the exercise was necessary due to the inability of some other organizations to comply with notices that were served on them in March this year. Mr. Odwola also stated that in the case of default, the agency will return any removed signage as soon as the defaulters meet their financial obligations.
The exercise we are doing today is to conduct enforcement on owners of billboards, signage that we have served demand notice, that is bill of payment, since March, and they have failed or refused to comply. If they pay, of course, we will return it to them, but with the payment of the recovery fee. In fairness, most of the, let's say, meat shop owners, they've complied. In fact, the rate of compliance is very, very astonishing, and we really commend them.
The exercise is expected to continue until there is full compliance with the regulations laid down by the Osun State Signage, Hoarding and Advertisement Agency. Emmanuel Ujadigele, Rave FM.
On a foreign scene, Kenyan police have fired tear gas at rowdy opposition protesters a day after their leader Raila Odinga announced his withdrawal from the presidential race. Election officials have been locked in crisis meeting since the decision, as debate raged over what Mr. Odinga's move could mean for a dramatic election saga that saw President Uhuru Kenyatta's August 8 victory annulled by the Supreme Court. Mr. Kenyatta insists the October 26 rerun election must go ahead, but longtime rival Mr. Odinga says his withdrawal legally forces election officials to begin the entire process from scratch, a move that leaves more time for his reform demands to be met. To maintain pressure, his opposition National Super Alliance coalition called supporters to the streets, saying protests will take place every day. And in Europe, Spain's Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy has put Catalonia on notice that it could impose direct rule on the region, Mr. Rajoy said his government had asked the regional government to clarify whether or not it had declared independence. The move is the first step towards suspending Catalonia's autonomy under the constitution. Catalan leaders signed a declaration of independence yesterday but halted implementation to allow for talks. Spain has been in turmoil since the separatist government held a disputed referendum in Catalonia on the 1st of October, which was declared invalid by the country's constitutional court.
Now for business news.
And in business, the Osun State Internal Revenue Service today sealed up 4 banks in Oshogbo, the state capital, over alleged evasion of taxes amounting to 72 million naira between the period of 2012 and 2014. The 4 affected banks are Diamond Bank, First City Monument Bank, Guarantee Trust Bank, and Fidelity Bank. The Chief Executive Officer of Internal Revenue Service, Bishi Ali, told newsmen that the action was to ensure that the financial institutions remit all the outstanding taxes due to the state government. It was gathered that the incident crippled activities in the affected banks. And the World Bank has said Nigeria's economy is expected to expand by 1% in 2017. The report said this today in its latest Africa Pulse report. It said economic growth in sub-Saharan Africa was expected to be 2.4% in 2017, down from the 2.6% projected in April. The World Bank said the downgrade was due to a number of reasons, including Nigeria's failing to meet expectations. The bank said the region will be helped by better commodity prices. World Bank Chief Economist for Africa, Albert Isufak, said the region's growth recovery will partly be driven by the continent's 2 largest economies, Nigeria and South Africa, exiting recession.
This is Sportline.
Alright, welcome to sports. Algeria have parted ways with their Spanish coach Lucas Alcaraz ahead of their final World Cup qualifying Group B game against Nigeria in November. Alcaraz, who took charge of the team in April following the resignation of Jadis Lunkens in February, was the 4th permanent coach to take charge in 13 months. According to reports, the Spanish coach, who signed a contract until 2019, has returned to Spain after bidding goodbye to his players. Alcaraz recorded only 1 win in 4 games during his reign. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich midfielder Arturo Vidal says he is retiring from international football, with his soul crushed after Chile fails to qualify for the 2018 World Cup finals. Vidal missed Chile's final shots at qualification yesterday through suspension, with the South American champions losing 3-0 to Brazil to miss out on Russia 2018 on goal difference. The 30-year-old announced his intention to step down from the national team on Twitter today. Vidal's announcement followed that of his Bayern Munich teammate Arjen Robben, who announced his retirement from international football after scoring twice in the Netherlands' 2-0 win over Sweden and a World Cup qualifier yesterday. The 23-year-old said that he wanted to focus on his club career while passing the torch to the next generation. Robben's retirement sparked reactions, with Netherlands coach Dick Advocaat hailing him as a quality player.
Arjen was still is one of the best players in the past in the world, and he still can do his job by his club. It's a really miss of the national team playing without him, because he's such a quality player, and we will miss him, no doubts about that.
Well, despite Robben's brace, the Netherlands failed to qualify for the 2018 World Cup after a poor start to the campaign. He started playing for his senior national team in 2003 and scored 37 goals in 96 matches.
Now, entertainment news.
Pressure seems to be mounting on Nigerian musician Davido, as the police in Lagos have said that his late friend Tagbo Meke died from suffocation. Acting Police Commissioner Imohimi Edgal stated these at the news briefing today, where he announced that Davido has been re-invited for questioning According to him, the autopsy report revealed that Tagbo died from suffocation, saying that he was abandoned in his car at the hospital by the video's driver and two of his friends. The police commissioner said the video has been re-invited for questioning because he lied that he only knew of Tagbo's demise while he was at a nightclub in Victoria Island. The claim that has been found to be untrue. Nollywood actress Caroline Danjuma was the first to raise an alarm when she called out the music star for his alleged involvement in the death of Tagbo. The video has, however, denied the allegations. Before we end the news, there is a recap of our top stories. The Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the permanent forfeiture of 56 houses linked to a former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Desiani Alison Madueke. And the Minister of Health, Isaac Adewale, has said that there are so far 33 suspected cases of monkeypox in the country. And he also said that the federal government has started taking steps to stop doctors and public service from engaging in private practice. And the Senate has condemned the illegal recruitment by federal government ministries, departments and agencies, warning that it is a threat to the country's unity. On the foreign scene, we told you that Kenyan police have fired tear gas at rowdy opposition protesters a day after the leader, Raila Odinga, announced his withdrawal from the presidential race. Just before we go, did you know that racist ideology can become manifest in many aspects of social life? Associated social actions may include nativism, xenophobia, segregation, hierarchical ranking, and supremacism. That ends the news at 6 on Rave 91.7 FM. The news was edited by Olanipekun Akindoju. You can visit our website on ravefmng.com to listen to us live and interact with us. My name is Femi Olanipekun. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.